Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And on today's Going In Raw news brief, Christian talks about his deal with AEW and what happened with WWE. We recap the latest New Japan Cup results and preview tonight's Impact. But first, we've got details on Kenny Omega's reaction to the botched Pyro Revolution. Larson, what's in the news?
So since Sunday, that faulty explosion, the non-existent explosion that concluded Revolution, has kind of been the talk of the wrestling world. And we have maybe some new info on how it went down and how it was supposed to go down. So it seems like the finish could very well be chalked up to bad Pyro. Brian Alvarez stated on a recent edition of Wrestling Observer Live that rehearsals did take place for the climactic explosion that was to close Sunday's Revolution pay-per-view. Those rehearsals, he says, went well. However, the explosives used for the show itself ended up being, quote, a dud. Alvarez also stated that Kenny was none too happy about the underwhelming finish, saying, and these transcripts are from Wrestle Talk, quote, I was like, can you imagine being John Moxley and Kenny Omega? You kill yourselves for 30 minutes with bombs and barbed wire, and you're cutting yourself, and poof, that's the end. Omega was furious, by the way. I can tell you that. He was angry.
Oh no. The cleaner, unhappy. I would be, I mean, if that's the situation, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of, it was like punchlined like a joke.
And like the bummer part, and I've gone through this, I feel like ad nauseum. Everything
times.
leading up to it was so good.
It was really good.
It was so good. And it's a shame that so many people are going to remember this show for that, as opposed to all the good stuff that preceded it. And it's a bummer because I thought overall it was a really good show. And that moment between Mox and Kingston was great.
You know what, though, dude? We have influence in this industry, Larson.
Do we?
Friendo Awards, that's going on the list of best shows. Right now it's up there for best show of 2021 in my book. There was so much cool stuff going on there.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good show in terms of the wrestling, in terms of the story being told. I thought it was all really good.
You know what they should do, of course.
Except for that last moment.
Once they get their own, I mean, they should just take the pay-per-view and then resubmit it to Fight or to BR Live, and then whenever they get their own stream, wherever it is, just add a bunch of explosions to it. There's apps on your phone you can do that with.
No, that's what you do. That's what you do. You have the count, the clock go down to 0, and Eddie covers Mox. You redo the voiceover and says, and harken back to the WCW days when they had to go because Robin Hood was on. So you just don't even see it. It's up to your imagination whether the explosions went on.
There's a great I don't know what you'd even call it these days, but there's a genre series, a meme of TikTok videos where it ends. It's like videos that end like somebody's doing something that like could potentially be like dangerous, like flammable or something. And then it ends with a ridiculously large explosion, but it always looks real like it's the same explosion footage for like maybe a half a second. It's the same exact footage that they just toss at the end of something and it makes it look like it. Well, they should just do that. Just like have like half a second of explosion and then like it goes to black.
Yeah.
Boo! There you go. Oh, what happened? Oh! Just
so
retcon the whole thing.
Inspiration. Well, that's going to draw even more attention to the original thing. That's why.
George Lucas did it with Star Wars. It's a piece of fiction. All those people who say, it's no different than acting or movies or whatever. Yeah, so redo it like Lucas did. It was Star Wars. Nobody gave him shit about it. That's totally untrue. Anyways, let's 100% move on.
Untrue. Let's talk more AEW news because Christian, he debuted in AEW at Revolution, and rather than do Talk as Jericho after his debut, as several others have done, he went on Renee Paquette's Oral Sessions podcast. That came out today and talked about how his return to the ring came about. I listened to it this morning, and he had a few notable little things. Just kind of paraphrase here. So following his unsanctioned match against Orton in the lead up to during the feud with Edge, apparently he was told that no one was allowed to touch him, like in the ring, because he hadn't been cleared. And Christian's like, well, this is the situation now. Like no one can even touch me. And so he decided, all right, I'm going to see what I can do about all this. He went to the University of South Florida, I believe that's in Tampa, to undergo some testing at their concussion center. He passed every test. Every test. And then after that, he went through 5 hours of testing in Pittsburgh, and after that, cleared. He says that when Paul White teased his signing on March 3rd, last week's Dynamite, there was, in fact, no contract signed at that point between himself and AEW.
Boy, that's playing with fire, isn't it?
He said he was a bit surprised about the tease, however, felt comfortable with it, given how well he and Tony Khan had hit it off. He said he first talked to Vince about potentially coming back, about maybe being cleared at Clash of Champions when he was there for the ambulance match between Randy and Drew. And he says throughout the process, all the talks with WWE about a potential return were cordial, but he spoke with Jon Moxley. And Mox says, essentially explore your options. And Christian said he thought he would be doing himself a disservice by not exploring all the options available to him at the final stage of his career. He said he had a conversation with Tony, and it escalated quickly, and within a week they had struck a deal. He said he signed long-term with AEW, says he and Mox will do something together. Apparently they're really good friends. He mentions he wants to work with Kenny, with Darby Allin, the Young Bucks, MJF, along with going out there and wrestling. He wants to help the younger talent. He says that's one of the reasons why he wanted to come back. He says in the end, he looked for the best platform for him, but also for a place where he could help the next generation. He said his first conversation with Tony Khan lasted 2 hours. He's up for the challenge. He appreciates the challenge. He likes the challenge. Going to AEW, he said, was an easy decision, but at the same time, it wasn't hard either. So they don't really get into, like a more specific timeline of, well, did WWE even offer you this? How far do conversations go with WWE about a return? So I don't know, beyond Christian saying conversations were always cordial between the two parties, himself and WWE. Never really gets past that. And, he just says, talk to Tony, then a week, done deal, essentially.
That's all very interesting stuff. AEW probably has a pretty good pitch prepared.
Another thing he said he liked about AEW was being more involved in the creative process.
I imagine AEW has, like, when you talk to Tony Khan, he's like a normal human being, and at least he seems like it. And he's obviously a big fan. He has a big passion for doing this stuff, and it's like talking to somebody who's really enthusiastic, like, dude, man, we could do a lot of stuff. Look what we've done already with Sting. You can have, it's not necessarily like the mega platform that WWE is, but like, could you imagine Christian trying to talk to WWE? I just imagine it's like trying to talk to Vince when he's having the good steak. It's probably like
I think it's like call. For me, it feels like if you call into like like get something like there's a weird charge on your credit card, and you got to call, and there's like several layers you have to go through before you can finally get to the person who has the authority to take that charge off your credit card. Because you have to go through the automated thing where you got to answer the questions on the phone and hope like the system they have registers what you're saying and takes you on the right path. You got to go through that, and then you talk to like the first operator, and they get the case, and then they have to go to the next level to get the charge taken off your card, and they come back to you. I feel like there's just these layers you have to go through to finally get to have the conversation you really want to have in WWE. Whereas it feels like for the most part, AEW, you want to talk to Tony Khan, you find someone that can connect the two of you, and it's done.
Yeah,
you can have that conversation. It doesn't feel like this is just based on observation. It doesn't feel like there's those same layers involved.
It's just one of those things where like WWE, they have so much, and they don't. It's not like they can. And
it's a huge publicly traded company too.
Yeah, it's just you could just stop at huge. Like they would take Christian for granted. Like a guy like that comes in, it's like, okay, well, go sit in catering until you hear your name. It's like being at the DMV. And these aren't you talking about it being like trying to get a charge off your credit card, and me talking about it like it's a DMV. Those are not flattering things, but that's always how it feels like over there. It's like you go there. Oh, it's Legends Night. They're going to honor the time that I put in here. No,
well,
but it's called.
I'm not done putting in my time either. That's like
It's called Legends Night. Yeah, it's where we run over our legends or we have them squash our younger talent, depending on if you're Goldberg or not.
But there's no in between.
There's nothing in between.
It's like either it's an honor to squash young talent or it's honored to appear on TV and be humiliated
I mean,
by
dude,
young talent. But there's nothing in between.
Maybe I mean, look, he said talks with WWE were cordial, and maybe it's simply, listen, you're great, but we're not going to have anything for you here. Whereas AEW, they're still a growing company. You know, it's less of a wrestlers there are less of cogs and wheels. You know, they find places, they keep on adding to their programming and stuff. And maybe in 20 years, it'll get to the point where, you know, Tony Khan will need to have good steak in order to talk to a guy. But for right now, it seems like a great place. I don't know. I spent my morning watching a little bit of the New Japan Cup, last night's latest matches. So if you don't want to be spoiled by these, I guess just skip ahead to our Impact Wrestling preview, or hopefully we'll just see you tonight and you can call it a night.
Yeah.
Call
if
it
you
a
don't
day
care about
here.
Impact, thanks for joining us, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Be sure to sub to the channel.
Yes, please.
Give us that thumbs up, please. Sonata defeated Ishii in a really long,
really good.
Yeah, it's really good for like an Ishii Sonata match in that you kind of always know what you're going to get. You know, Larson, quick, what's going to happen in an Ishii match?
He's gonna dole out a lot of forearms and need a lot of forearms.
It's really punishing match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. God, I feel like I've seen them all at this point.
You got to watch Sonata's match against Zack Sabre Jr. at the G1 in Dallas. That's really good.
You know why it's really good? Because Zack Sabre Jr. can drag anybody to a great match.
Here's the thing about that match, though. It's not like Sonata's getting left behind in the technical aspect of mat-based wrestling in that match, and that's why it's impressive.
All right.
He's holding his own against Zack Sabre Jr. on the mat, and so it's impressive. Anyways, continue.
I believe you. And then I was really kind of disappointed, but not shocked, not surprised at all. Legend Yuji Nagata defeated Tsuji in the Young Lions first New Japan Cup. And man, this Tsuji, he's going to in 10 years. Oh my God, he's going to be massive.
This class of Young Lions has some potential superstars in it.
Right? They really do.
Yeah. Tsuji and Nomura, they're both really good.
Yeah,
they're both really good.
They are
really good.
So they move on. Looking at the bracket here, Sonata is going to go on and face Nagata in round 2.
So it's probably going to be Sonata versus whoever wins the Will Ospreay Zack Sabre Jr. match, I would suspect. That would be the final.
Yeah, because Zack Sabre Jr. is fighting Gabriel Kidd, and then Ospreay's fighting Tens. Oh, that happened already. Okay.
Yeah, Zack.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. And then Ospreay obviously went past. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. You're right. That happens on the 14th.
Sonata in the semifinals, yeah.
So coming up tonight, you've got David Finlay versus Chase Owens, the crown jewel. That's sort of a wash. I don't know who's going to win that one. And then Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi. And then Hanare versus Jay White. So, oh wow, Jay White versus Tanahashi, huh? That's in round 2 probably. That's gonna be great.
That could be something else, man. That could be something else.
Something else also. Impact Wrestling is gonna be something else tonight.
The go home for sacrifice.
That's right. We're gonna have it live at twitch.tv/Steven Larson. You, me,
5?
the Enforcer, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, why? Is that weird to you?
No, I'm just double checking.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's 5 o'clock. Oh, are you talking about Sacrifice or tonight?
Yeah. No, Sacrifice.
Oh, Sacrifice? Oh, I don't know. Probably 5.
Yeah, it's always 5. I know it's 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern for us tonight, but on Sacrifice on Saturday, I was curious.
Is there going to be a Being the Impact on Saturday? And if are they going to have a match? I don't really care about that. Yeah, 5. I don't need a kickoff show for Impact. For Sacrifice, 5 o'clock is fine. Yeah. Even if the main card starts at 4, we'll be there at 5. No, anyways. So yeah, what's going on tonight at Impact, dude?
There's a contract signed between the Good Brothers and Finn Juice for their Impact Tag Team Championship bout at Sacrifice. Ace Austin taking on Chris Bay. That'll be really good. And Mahabali Shera and Rohit Raju challenging James Storm and Chris Sabin.
That's cool. Shera's huge. That's a big dude right there.
Yeah, he is.
But Raju's going to eat the pin in that particular match. But you know what? Doesn't matter. We're going to be sitting here shooting the shit, eating some dinner, having a good old time. Just a couple friendos, so hopefully you'll join us. And yeah, there you go. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Till next time,
Bye.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Help support Going In Raw today by becoming a Friendo Club TV member. You'll get access to new bonus episodes every week, including Friendo Club Arcade, Live Power Rank, Vintage 10 for the Wins, and Ask Steven Larson. Get access to Friendo Club TV today by becoming a $5 and up patron at patreon.com/Steven Larson, by throwing us a sub at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, or by clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson.